Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today we'll be talking about the New York Jets versus the LA Chargers. But before we get started, just wanted to mention that you can follow along with me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast. You can call in, leave me your question, numbers right here. I'll try to answer it on the show. We have a fun time over there, so check it out. I'd also like to talk to you about ThriveFantasy. Come hashtag prop up on ThriveFantasy this season. ThriveFantasy is a daily fantasy sports app for player props. They have eliminated the need to do countless hours of research because they only ask you about the top tier athletes in a respective sport. So we're doing football. So you get to choose 10 out of the 20 player prop options to build your lineup. You use promo code JETS20, that's promo code JETS20 when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant match bonus of up to $50 on your first deposit of $20 or more. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website, thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and hashtag prop up today. So let's talk about the New York Jets and the Chargers. The offense definitely leans in the favor of the Chargers, who are ranked 19th to the Jets 32. Oh, we have to watch the New York Jets offense again. It was nice to have a week off, wasn't it? As for the defense, the Chargers are ranked 20th to the Jets 29th. Jets are not having an advantage over many teams in the league. Chargers are certainly not one of those teams who have a pretty good offense. 28, I don't think really does it justice because Justin Herbert's played really good football, and more on Justin Herbert in a little bit. But we will start by talking about Joe Flacco because he is getting the start for the New York Jets. Sam Darnold missing another week with his AC joint injury. How many more games of Sam Darnold do we see in a Jets uniform? I really don't know. I think maybe a handful at this point, which is really, really sad to say, but it's looking more and more like the reality as we go on and as the injury doesn't seem to get better anytime soon. So last week, Joe Flacco had a really, really good performance against New England, 262 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 128.7 rating against the New England Patriots. I wouldn't worry too much about him ruining the tank. Yes, he had a really, really good game against an awful defense in the New England Patriots right now. I don't think he replicates it this week. I don't think he gives the Jets a ton more of a better chance to win than Sam Darnold does, even with Darnold struggling to the level that he was. Like I said, I don't think he replicates it. I'm going to say he goes something like 16 to 31, 180 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He's been meh outside of 3/4 of the game on Monday night a couple of weeks ago. He hasn't looked all that good. I don't think he's going to be able to deal with Justin Herbert or play at the same pace that Herbert is. It's going to be a vanilla offense. I don't expect a whole lot. So don't think that Joe Flacco is going to ruin this tank for you. As for Justin Herbert, he's been phenomenal. He has over 250 yards passing in 7 of his 8 starts. He has 3 TDs or more passing in 4 of his 8 starts. He's been unbelievable, and he has a legitimate chance for the NFL Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's how good he's been. I think he's going to throw for over 300 yards. I'll say 320 yards and 2 touchdowns against this Jets defense, which kind of leads me into this next point that I wanted to talk about. No Brian Poole. He's done for the year. Arguably the Jets' best cornerback. He's a really good slot corner. He's not going to be able to play for the team this week or for the rest of the year. He goes down. He has surgery, so his season is over with. The New York Jets also moved on from Pierre Desir this week. Probably bad for the tank, but overall a good thing because he has no future on this New York Jets football team. So they're going to look at Bless Austin and Bryce Hall, which I'm excited about Bryce Hall. I think he can be a starter at this level, but I think he's going to struggle early on. Same with Bless. I think he's a really good tackler, and I think a lot of Jets fans maybe overrate him as an overall corner because they see the plays that he can make tackling and like coming up and making a play, but he's not that good in coverage. He still needs to work on that area. So he's got 7 more games to do that and to prove that he deserves a spot as a starting corner in 2021 on this team. Same deal for Bryce Hall. So I'm excited to see what they do. Huge question mark, though, because who the hell is going to cover Keenan Allen, who's been phenomenal for the Chargers? He's a bona fide number 1 receiver. And talk about being thrown into the fire for a guy like Bryce Hall. Even Bless Austin. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of experience under his belt either. So it's not going to be an easy task for the New York Jets, that's for sure. I wanted to talk about the Jets receivers a little bit. Last week, Brashad Perriman, or the last game, it was 2 weeks ago at this point with the bye week, Brashad Perriman had his coming out party against New England. He had a couple of touchdowns, a couple of bombs. I don't think he does all that much this week if he plays. He's on the injury report. Go figure. The guy is always injured. I've heard a lot of talk this past week and during the bye week about bringing him back to be the fourth wide receiver. I really don't know how I feel about that. Would he be a good number 4 receiver? In theory, yes, but he cannot stay healthy. So I don't know if it's worthwhile to do that. Doesn't really move the needle a whole lot for me. I would probably just take my losses and move on after this point. But I think he underwhelms this week. I think he'll have something like 2 catches for, I don't know, under 30 yards, something like that. If he plays. As for Denzel Mims, I think he continues to do what he normally does, except for this time, I'm predicting Denzel Mims gets his first receiving touchdown of his career. I'm going to say he has 4 catches, 53 yards, and 1 touchdown. The touchdown will be on a 20-plus yard throw from Joe Flacco to Denzel Mims, and he gets a big gain right there in his first touchdown. He's been playing really good football. I think he looks like a legitimate starting outside receiver. I'd love to see him in a legitimate offense, and I want to see him more in the next 7 games and see what kind of production he puts up for this team, because I've loved what I've seen of Denzel Mims, and that's really what we're watching for. We're not rooting for wins and losses. Well, we are kind of rooting for losses at this point, sorry. But I think what you're rooting for is individuals and young players to take the next step, and Denzel Mims is absolutely one of those guys. Now, the Chargers only have 2 wins on your schedule, or on their schedule, I guess, but they are heavily favored in this game, and I'm buying in. I am taking the Chargers against the spread, and that's going to be my pick, spoiler alert, in a second, but they are probably the best two-win team in football. They try to find ways to lose, but that offense, I think, is going to be able to really beat down this Jets defense and throw a ton on this secondary. Yes, I understand it's a rookie quarterback, but he's thrown for, like I said, 300 yards. How many times this year? He's been unbelievable at getting the ball down the field. I think they'll be able to take some shots. The Jets secondary, again, is not a strong point of this defense. The interior defensive line is. How much that helps the defense in 2020 is a different conversation, but I think that they are going to be able to get the ball down the field and put up some points. So I am taking the Chargers to win 27-10. I think they cover the spread. I've been 8-1 so far in my picks. I'm having a pretty good season. The only one that I got wrong was in week 1. I thought the Jets would win. Casey, on the other hand, is 5-4. Let's see who she picks. Casey's on the Jets. So is she going to 6-4? Are the Jets getting their first win? Or does the tank roll on? Do I move up to 9-1? We'll have to see, but I really don't like the Jets' chances. They never seem to play well, having to go from the East Coast to the West Coast. I know home field advantage really isn't the same in this COVID really weird season, but I don't think it really matters. I think this could even potentially be a blowout. I have it a 17-point win for the Chargers. It would not shock me if the Jets lost by 20-plus points. It has an eerie feeling to a blowout written all over for me. Not feeling too good about this game. So let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.